So, as far as marketing, experimental fiction, don't expect much to come from that. Expect a wonderful time, expect the gratification that you have made a difference to the world. As far as commercial marketing, you really should expect a lot to come from that. And you may not see it in the first books in a series, for example, or your first books in a new genre that you have not written. So if you don't see results for it right away, that doesn't mean it failed. That means you're getting started just like any other business. For the first few years when people have a business, it's expected that it will fail. Well, not fail, but lose money. Only after a few years does it start to make money. So it's the same way with book writing. You may not make a return on your investment at first, but it is an investment. And so remember now with literary fiction, a lot of what people try to do is they'll review each other's books. They do that in commercial fiction too, but it's different. It like with literary fiction, it's really frustrating because you that's who your audience is other fiction writers in that genre. And who else is going to read it? Nobody reads literary fiction unless they also write literary fiction, right? So so that's your audience, and you can't review each other's work, or Amazon will take it down. Now they may blurb your work, they may write an article about it for a magazine, they may write an article about it on a blog, but not very many people who write literary fiction blog. Usually the blogging approach is more for commercial fiction. And the magazine article is for literary fiction. And so it's important to learn that distinction and how you approach these different people if you're trying to straddle the different types of writing. Now, with genre fiction, you are probably going to want to do Amazon free days if you're part of that program and let people know, put it out. But I wouldn't recommend counting on that to really accomplish a whole lot these days. It's not quite as effective as it used to be. There's so many people who are putting out these free books and then promoting them to um, the newsletters that say, free books, 99-cent books. And so I've joined those because you see they tell you this is how many people are have joined. This many people want to get the books. Well, a lot of those people who have joined are the authors. They're not looking for the books necessarily. So it's not as quite as huge a crowd as it seems. But also um, they're going to be getting these every day. They're going to get tons of free books every day. They're not going to have time to read 99-cent books. They're not even going to buy 99-cent books. So if you put it in there for 99 cents, it's probably not going to get bought. And if you put it in there for free, the people who would have bought it are not going to buy it. The people who have bought it are probably not even going to ever get around to it because they've got so many. And if they do, they're not going to feel obliged to review it. You didn't contact them about doing an exchange, so they're probably not going to review it. You might get really high in the free books on Amazon, the bestseller chart, but that doesn't really necessarily translate to a lot of sales later. So if you're first getting started, it's a good way to get eyes on your book, but it's not the most effective way of marketing, in my opinion. Um, you and something like BookBub, for example, that generally pays off for people, but it's very hard to be accepted into BookBub, of course. And now this because this is only a 10-minute uh, per session thing on YouTube. I'm making these little short segments, so please accept my apology for my arm coming out toward you